everyone, and welcome to the Habicast, Habitat Pinellas and West Pasco's podcast, highlighting our homeowners, our partners, and all the impact that it's made in the community for affordable home ownership opportunities. I'm your co-host, Morgan Brochetti, and I'm here with our president and CEO, Mike Sutton. How are you, Mike?
I am doing good.
Great.
We are in November.
I know.
It is a busy time, but before we talk about anything Habitat, we got to talk about our amazing producer, Chris Torillo.
Let's do it.
So he is getting married this month.
Yes, he is.
And so I think we all need to just
Special episode.
give a little bit of a shout out for him.
Yep. Congrats in
congrats.
advance. Well wishes.
Yeah.
Feel free to send them in the comments.
It's a big thing.
That's
right?
It's a huge life step. We're very excited for them.
They've been planning their wedding for like 18 months.
Literally.
And he's been a little distracted lately.
It's a lot.
It's coming up, but
He's doing a great job.
we are so happy for you, Chris. He's back there laughing right now, but we are very, very happy.
I want to see wedding bells. I want to see them on the screen for this. Thank you.
That'd be awesome.
Put that in post.
Awesome. Well, Chris, next time we get together, you will be a married man.
Married man.
So congratulations. We know you're getting a ton of likes right now on Facebook and YouTube because everyone is liking the fact that you're getting married, and we send our condolences out to Jen.
And stay tuned. We're actually going to go live with the Habicast at Chris's wedding. So there may be a special episode. Stay tuned.
That would be phenomenal.
That would be pretty cool.
Awesome. Well, it is a busy time of the year for Habitat.
Sure is.
So we have, we completed, I think, 8 homes in October. We have another 9 or so here in November. And those are numbers, but what's most important about those numbers is those also mean families. And so that is a significant amount of families in our community that will be homeowners going into Thanksgiving holiday, as well as being able to spend their first Christmas in their new home.
Yep.
I love those stories, by the way.
They're the best.
When we talk to families, what was that first Christmas like? And it's kind of an exciting thing. They typically go all out with their decorations and stuff too.
Sometimes it's the first time they're able to go all out in general, which is awesome. And I think that we have this new Habicast class that our marketing and volunteer team put together. So Amanda and Xavier, shout out to them. They put this amazing class together with our homeowner services program for the kids of families who are in the program. Yeah. So in that, there's a lot of talk about budgeting and what are you excited for and things like that. So I'm sure that as we get into holiday time, that's going to be something that they're going to be looking forward to.
Well, our homeowner services team, has done a phenomenal job with the education that we do for our homeowners. Sandra Holmes, who heads all that up, I know loves engaging the rest of our staff in the education. And so, a lot of what we do at Habitat is really focused around the adults. I mean, it's just natural. So being able to pull the kids in this way is kind of neat to see them learning and engaged and excited and being a part of the process is so important, and learning things early. We're going to talk to our guest today, who's actually a representative of one of our banking partners,
right.
And they put a huge focus around the kid aspect, and they just recently sponsored a house with us where they actually opened up an account for each one of the kids in the homes,
which was so cool.
So kids learning at such an early age to save is so important.
It's huge. And I was at the inaugural class that we ran about 2 weeks ago or so, a couple weeks ago, and the amount of questions that our staff asked the audience, so these kids from 5 to 11, I think the ages were. So it was a pretty big, full group, probably 25 or so kids. They were answering questions about Habitats, about budgeting. It's about our future, and we're going to have stability. They are picking up what their parents are learning, which is so cool to see it really come full circle. So
were they that bubbly with it?
They were very bubbly.
Okay, cool. That's awesome though. Seriously, I think it's really neat. So we got, I think we got a few updates to chat about. Obviously, our community, last time we got together, we talked about how our community was supposed to be the recipient of this hurricane, right? So Hurricane Ian was heading right towards us. Last minute, took a right, went and hit our friends down south. I'm really, really proud of the work that our staff and our board has done to support some relief efforts down south. Obviously we would love to just close up shop, go down and help rebuild.
Right.
But we obviously have a lot of families in our community that are in need of our assistance. So what we've done is we've launched a couple campaigns to bring in supplies. Yep. We've also raised some revenue that we've been able to push down south. But what was really neat was we had our friends from ABC Action News out live at our restore doing a few cut-ins throughout a morning a couple weeks ago, and they had a great surprise for us at the end of the day.
They had a great surprise. Yeah, I walked in at 4:30 or so, and Sean Daly comes up and he's like, "Do you know what's in this red folder?" I was like, what's in the red folder? I don't know. So it was pretty cool. We had some of our staff coming in from, I think it was after dedication. Yeah. They came in, again, not knowing what was going on, knowing we were doing live shots and stuff. And ABC Action News launched their own campaign. ABC Cares, I think that's the name of their campaign, but they have been raising funds, just like so many other great organizations in our community had been, and they were going to 5 different charities across the community and presenting them with a donation to help provide relief to our friends down south. So we were presented with a $10,000 check from the ABC Action News viewers, which is awesome. Pretty amazing.
Well, it just says a lot about how people were willing to step up and help support, and we're extremely thankful to ABC. In conjunction with that drive that we did, where people were able to bring in supplies and donations, it also provided us the opportunity to work with 2 of our surrounding Habitat affiliates. So we partnered up with Habitat in Hillsborough County and Habitat up in the eastern side of Pasco County. So bringing all 3 habitats together to work collaboratively to support our friends down south was pretty big too. So people can continue to support those efforts. They can go to our website, habitatpwp.org, and there's some information there on how they can continue to support those relief efforts. I think we're still a few months away from sending volunteers down to help, right. But for folks that are looking to mobilize some friends and or businesses to go down and help, there will be information there. So
we'll make sure to keep that updated as those opportunities arise.
We also, during the month of October, had this amazing opportunity with the Tampa Bay Business Journal. We have been looking for something to do as a way to really plug into the community outside of what we normally do. Like, how do we pull people in and get people engaged in our mission? And there was this opportunity that kind of came about to be the presenting sponsor on the 40 Under 40 Awards. And so the Tampa Bay Business Journal hosts those once a year. They have hundreds and hundreds of people that are nominated for the award.
Right.
And then they have to dwindle it down to 40 people.
40 people. And you were an alumni, were you not?
2010.
2010.
Yeah.
I'm sure Chris will put that that throwback photo in there and post. Love that.
Yeah. It was actually a really cool experience. I will say that it was probably one of the I've been very blessed in my career, back in the day, when I got that award, I would say it was kind of a turning point in some ways for me.
Sure.
It got me a lot of exposure. And as I was talking to some of the folks that got the award this year, one of the things that they said was just so amazing was the outreach that they received from businesses and people in the community. So our only goal behind this was, obviously, we're always looking to figure out how we get our brand out in the community and make people aware of what we do. But really, it was, how do we pull these people in to work with us?
Yeah.
And so, coming out of the 40 Under 40 Award, we are actually doing a build day with all 40 awardees.
Yes, which is going to be so awesome. We'll definitely have some recaps of that, but we have such a great opportunity there, and that really came from that partnership with Ian over at the Tampa Bay Business Journal to really think about, what does that sponsorship look like, and how does that make, how does that make a huge impact, and having 40 folks who maybe have heard of Habitat, but they're actually going to have the opportunity as a class to come out and build and meet the family. We have all that lined up too, which is going to be really cool. Yeah. It's definitely going to be something that they'll take away, and hopefully they'll come back and continue to be involved with us.
Yeah. Well, and again, we're very thankful for that partnership with Tampa Bay Business Journal. Ian, Alexis, Dawn, Colleen, Sam, all of them over there are just amazing folks. And now that I mentioned all their names and we're heard all around the world, hopefully they'll buy me some lunch or something. So. The other thing I think that's worth mentioning is the fact that we just wrapped up our 12th annual Golfing for Habitat tournament.
Yes, on Halloween Monday.
Boom.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Spooky.
Spooky. I kept waiting to drive around the course and look for our wonderful producer, Chris, hopping out of bushes and taking photos and scaring folks.
Know.
And this has become all about how we
pretty
pick
much
on Chris.
about Chris.
So Chris is laughing at us again. But the 12th annual Golfing for Habitat tournament was a huge success, a sellout. We, again, just like with the Tampa Bay Business Journal event we just mentioned, the purpose of the golf tournament is obviously to have fun playing golf, but to raise those much needed funds for Habitat, which we were able to do, and exceeding $100,000 in revenue for the day, that we can then pour back into building a home for a family in the community is very much needed.
And that's a great opportunity too. We always want to make sure that we can include mission moments in anything that we're doing. And we were able to hear from a homeowner candidate, Jamie Pitts, about her experience and why she's in the program and what kind of impact it's actually going to make because of those golfers who came out that day to help support, which is a great opportunity to kind of get people plugged in.
Yeah, exactly. So the 13th annual Golfing for Habitat tournament will be in 2023. We don't have a date yet, but it'll be there.
Stay tuned.
But today, what's really excited about our guest is that what I love about Habitat is the opportunity to create deep, meaningful partnerships throughout our community. And this is one that organically has happened over many years.
Right.
And so we have the president of BayFirst Bank, Thomas Zernick, with us today. I'm going to talk to him a little bit about his role with the bank and then how BayFirst, which is formerly known as First Home Bank, has become a big partner with Habitat. And that partnership started from just conversations probably 6-7 years ago with one of their employees, Valerie Fulbright. And that's, parlayed into them. They just sponsored a house with one of our families.
Yep.
They've gotten pretty involved. Their CEO of the corporation was part of our CEO build last year.
Right.
Tom, as the president, is going to do our CEO build this year.
Awesome.
And then we have a brand new board member, Chris Hackney, that has come out of that bank. And so it's just really cool to see a partnership evolve like that. And so my hope is today that folks that listen to this, all three of them, walk away thinking, gosh, we could create a partnership like that with Habitat as well. So I think it's a really good example. So let's bring Tom in and chat with him a little bit. Well, Tom, thank you for being with us today and spending a little bit of time talking about not only BayFirst, but the partnership with Habitat. So thanks for being with us.
Great. Well, great to be here with you, Mike, and so proud of what you do for our communities. And it was really exciting to really jump into the river water with you this year on the Habitat house that we sponsored and ultimately helped build. Yeah.
Well, you guys jumped right in, and we really appreciate that. And Habitat's one of those organizations that we can't continue to move forward and do the work that's needed in our community if it's not for community partnerships. So thank you for that. Before we talk about the house, though, let's talk a little bit about BayFirst, because I think y'all just went through a rebranding. So some folks may not be familiar with BayFirst. They may be familiar with First Home Bank, right? But let's talk a little bit about the bank, maybe real quick history and kind of what you all focus in on.
Sure. Well, BayFirst National Bank, formerly First Home Bank, we rebranded earlier this year. We're a community bank at heart. We just opened our 8th office down south of the Skyway Bridge in West Bradenton. So we are
the first one outside of Pinellas, Hillsborough?
No, we have one in Tampa, another one underway in Hillsborough, and then we have several others south of the bridge as well. So we now have 8 banking centers across the Tampa Bay market. Sure. We're the second largest community bank in Tampa Bay, but we are the best bank of Tampa Bay, and we're certainly proud of that.
Awesome. So the history of the bank and kind of what you guys really specialize in, because you guys have a kind of a unique feel to you, right? I mean, it really is about the community. It's serving the residents here in the Tampa Bay area. It's not just that transaction or going in, cashing the check or hitting the ATM, right?
Right. Well, so if you Google us, the bank actually started back in 1999. Current leadership under Tony Leo really came into the bank in the end of 2013, really started to launch the bank in 2014. And we were a $100 million bank at the time, and we were looking to grow. And we quickly got into some residential lending. We got into some SBA lending. And we certainly wanted to grow our deposits and build our branches. So we have grown over the last 6.5 years from a $100 million bank to well over $900 million in assets.
Wow.
And we will continue to grow. And our product line is very simple. We offer traditional community bank products such as conventional commercial lending. We take deposits at all of our branches. We do robust consumer lending.
Okay.
Whether you need a home equity loan or a car loan.
Okay.
We do SBA government guaranteed lending. So if you need to borrow money as a business and you can't get it through your conventional bank, we're a great source. We're actually the largest small business lender in the Tampa Bay market in our 5 counties.
Wow. Okay.
We're the 8th largest in the country in SBA lending, and we're very proud of that. Wow. But we offer a diverse product line, and I think what really separates ourselves from what we think is our competition is our high-touch, local flavor.
Yeah.
We meet our clients on their terms.
Sure.
If you want to use our online banking application or you want to open up an account online, we can do that for you. If you want to do a consumer loan application online, we can do that. But if you still want to come into the banking center, you want to meet with your local banker, and you want that high-touch, over-the-top customer service, we're still that bank.
Gotcha.
And that's something we're really proud of is we're still local. And one of our most important amenities that we offer all of our employees is the opportunity to volunteer.
Yeah.
We give them paid volunteer time off. We think it's really important that all of us give back, as we know, as our community goes, as goes our bank.
Sure.
So we're all in it together.
Well, it's been great to meet some of the folks from BayFirst, and I've known Valerie Fulbright for quite a while. She always tells the story that I'm the first person she met when she took her role at the bank, and we've stayed in touch over the years, and have found ways to get Habitat plugged in. But the thing that's always stuck out to me has just been kind of that customer service approach that you all have, just in your interactions out and about. So as I've seen folks from the bank at chamber events or at community events, again, I think it speaks volumes to your leadership and the leadership of the bank execs that you guys are out in the community and you're doing exactly what you just said, and that's to be a community first bank.
Right. And, we're excited to always interact with the community, whether it's partnering with Habitat or any of the other great nonprofits we partner with. We just know how important it is to be there for the community, whether it's handing out food through Feeding America or it's doing final painting at the Habitat House. Sometimes those experiences are the best days of my work week.
Yeah. Sure.
And I think it's just great to watch the benefit that we create and the smiles we put on the needy's faces as we reach out to them and give them some support.
Well, you mentioned the painting. We have some awesome painting photos of you that we'll have to put out on the on this today. But you guys got involved by sponsoring Artesia's house in St. Petersburg, and her son and daughter came through the Habitat program, put in hundreds of sweat equity hours, went through a ton of homebuyer education classes, but BayFirst stepped up as the home sponsor. So you all provided the financial means to help support the home, but then you also came out and swung a hammer, or in your case, did a lot of painting. So what was that like for, as someone in your role that, leads a couple hundred employees, what is that like to be able to provide that experience for them to come out and help, their fellow brother and sisters in the community?
Yeah, well, I remember the first morning that Valerie Fulbright mentioned to our executive team that we were contemplating a sponsorship like this, and it would require actually going out to a home and building it. And I am not a handyman by any means.
I'm with you.
So I was shaking in my boots, but I knew over a 5 or 6 week period, we would have probably up to almost 100 employees help over a series of about 15 days, putting in hours to make it happen. And I'm so glad you got us in at the tail end of the house versus having to put trusses together and pouring concrete.
Yeah.
But I will tell you, along the way, the teams that participated in the volunteer days, they would report in during our weekly What's Next call, We hold an all-employee meeting every Tuesday afternoon, and many of them would call in and talk about their Habitat experience.
Oh, that's cool.
So it created some excitement around the company, and just to hear the excitement and the enjoyment that our employees had, I thought it brought our bank together.
Sure.
And even the day I spent there with Tony and others during our exec day towards the end of the construction of the home, it was really enjoyable for me. And not only to hang out with my team at the bank, but to really enjoy your staff.
Yeah.
I learned so much about your mission just in that short day that I was there.
Yeah.
It made me realize the power of Habitat and really what you do for hundreds of families a year. And you should be very proud. And again, we were proud to sponsor. I know our team that helped with it along the way. We so enjoyed Artisha and her family. We had a chance to meet them at the Key Exchange.
You mentioned that. What? Yeah. How was that? I mean, just that interaction for the employees of meeting. Because again, there's so many misconceptions, right? So that education component that you mentioned of staff, your staff hearing from our team, which our team is the best Habitat team in the country. You got to hear from them all the misconceptions and what we do. When you are able to put a face with that, and you realize that the families Habitat partners with are working families. In some cases, they could be your bank teller or somebody that works for the bank, right? So, what's that like when you're able to put that tangible face with the investment you all are making?
Yeah, it makes the check writing that we did. Mm-hmm. It makes the hours that we put in. We got tenfold back.
That's awesome.
It was the magic moment when we handed the keys to Artisha and her kids, and I can remember talking to Artisha about her housing experience prior to the Habitat home, and the mold and the problems in the apartment that she was renting. And I'm putting myself in her shoes with her kids, saying, as a mom, she needs to provide better. She needs another resource for residency. And she reached out to you folks. And, she also, Artisha and her kids had a chance to come to one of our officer meetings at the bank. And she spoke, and we introduced her to our entire bank officer team.
That's neat. And
it was an emotional moment.
Yeah.
To realize we changed their lives, we helped change their lives along with you guys, and again, we do a lot of great things as a bank. We make a lot of great loans, we make a lot of great investments, we make a lot of great deposit services. Yeah. We help a lot of people financially, but sometimes getting out of the boardroom and into a Habitat room makes all the difference in the world to have a really truly magic moment for ourselves. So I am sure the rest of my employees and my rest of my teammates feel the same way as I did. Yeah. It left me, my ride back to the office after I left the house was truly remarkable.
Yeah, it's probably the best way to start your day, right?
It was.
So you guys also did something special for the kids at the home dedication, right? So you had the mascot out there, which was cool. We've actually, the only other time we've ever had a mascot on site at a home dedication was when the Tampa Bay Rays sponsored a house with us, and we had Raymond out there. But you guys brought the bank mascot out, and then you presented a small gift to both kids of the family.
We did, and our Cash is our mascot. Mm-hmm. He is a golden retriever. Yeah. And we're a pet-friendly bank.
Okay.
So
you can bring your pets
when you come into our banking centers, you can bring your well-behaved dog or cat on a leash. Keeler, right? We'll have dog bones and water for him. But, St. Pete is really pet-friendly. Okay. So we've adopted Cash as our mascot. Okay. The kids, we love it. We have a kids club for young kids that bank with us. So, the whole financial literacy with Cash is remarkable. But, we were able to not only hand the keys over to Artisha, but also hand over a nice financial check to each of the kids to get them started, to make something special for them. So again, just a warm part of our 5 or 6 week journey with Habitat this year, and we look forward to continuing a partnership with you folks in different formats, different ways. If you keep us building homes at the back end of the house, I'm sure we'll continue to help. Please don't put us in the trust building section or the concrete pouring, but we're always happy to help. And again, thank you for your team's involvement as well.
Well, we appreciate the support, and we look forward to doing it again. You guys were an amazing partner, and really jumped right in with us and said, hey, we can work together to make this happen. And I mean, that's exactly what I think the mission's aligned, right? It's all about making our community stronger and better, and so we really appreciate it.
Yeah, and again, the interaction with your team, even during the day I was there, they were all so complimentary about the staff at BayFirst and,
awesome.
and the excitement.
Yeah.
And that's what makes us different.
We heard a lot of amazing feedback from our staff about interacting with your team and the experience that they had. I mean, that is what makes kind of the whole Habitat mission move. So,
right.
So Tom, thank you again. On behalf of Habitat, please thank all of the staff back at BayFirst. We really do appreciate y'all's support.
Great. Well, thank you, Mike, and best is yet to come.
All right. Well, that was cool to really hear from Tom, the master painter, right?
Yes.
So he was just so excited about being able to paint, and he has told me numerous times now how excited he was that he didn't have to do anything like put the roof on or any, But it's we laugh about it, but that is something that you learn so much working out on a Habitat
Absolutely.
site. That partnership with BayFirst, I think, is going to really continue to grow and continue to be something really good for not only Habitat and BayFirst, but for our community.
Absolutely, and I think that it's such a great, it's a great example of kind of, I'm going to gloat on Mike a little bit, his superpower of connectivity.
Superpowers?
You do.
Man.
You're building
I knew that.
building those strategic relationships. Mike's always about connecting and plugging people in and making sure that things are beneficial, mutually beneficial, and partnerships are created. And that partnership with BayFirst that we now are able to highlight and talk about, and a family has now moved into a home because of their partnership, that really came from your relationship with Valerie many years ago, which is it's just so cool to see that authentic connectivity really come full circle and help a family in our community.
Well, I mean, relationships, everything's about relationships in this world. And I think it's a good example of one that, just organically has evolved and worked into something great. So again, it was great to talk to Tom. Good to see him. I've known Tom for many years too. I knew him from his previous bank that he was with back in the probably early 2010s. Is that what you call those? The 2010s?
Sure.
2010s?
The tens.
I don't know. We'll know that in probably another 10, 15 years. But it was good to talk to Tom. So as a reminder for everyone that's listening today, month of November, we have a ton of dedications. My notes here say 5, but I think we actually have 9. And so there's plenty of those. And people can find those out on our website, habitatpwp.org. They can go there, look at the events. Got a ton of dedications. No better opportunity to really feel and see the Habitat mission than to come to a home dedication. So we'll make sure to continue to push those out.
And there's the opportunity there, where we started probably about 3 years ago or so, Facebook live streaming those dedications. So if you can't make it, feel free to tune in. But if you can, it's the best 15 minutes in person of your day. You've got some networking because you get to meet some other like-minded professionals who are also interested in our mission. And you get to meet the family. It's such a cool experience. So I would definitely encourage you, if you are able to, come out to a dedication at some point. It's a great way to start your day.
I usually go to all of them. They're fun.
Yeah, you're kind of important at them. So we appreciate it.
So we do want to say a special thanks. Obviously people can listen to this and watch it on YouTube and Facebook, watch it multiple times so that we can get our views up.
Again.
But we also want to thank our broadcast partners, RadioSt.Pete.com and Sunshine 96.7 FM, as well as our friends at the St. Pete Catalyst.
Yes.
They all three help to kind of push this out and to get information about Habitat into the community. So thank you again to Radio St. Pete, Sunshine Radio, as well as St. Pete Catalyst.
Yes.
And we'll be coming back here very shortly with another amazing episode of the Habicast.
We'll talk to you soon. Thanks for tuning in.